Welcome to Crimson Guitars and welcome to an interesting video. This is not an unboxing. This is, however, still a weekend workshop video because it's the first look at, I think it's a weekend workshop video. We'll see what Talitha does. This is my first look at Iwasaki files. Although, are there files? Are there rasps? I don't know. These are... I've seen them once before. One of our students came in and he had a couple and I fell in love. They're unmitigatedly beautiful. And at that point I decided that I wanted to stock them. And I finally found a supplier. And this is my test now to see whether we want to have them at Crimson Guitars or not. They do two different levels. You've got black handles, and you have black handles across the range, and those are the standard ones. Or you've got the red handled ones, which are chemically sharpened. While I have some of the black handled ones, quite frankly, if we're going to sell a tool, or make a tool for that matter, we're only going to go for the best quality. So I'm only going to test the chemically sharpened beasties. Now, essentially, the design of these files is great. It's perfect for guitar building. In fact, part of their advertising is saying that it's perfect for guitar building. They have safe edges so that you can get right up to inside neck pockets, etc. As you need. Even the half-round files have got safe edges on the edges. Safe edges on the edges. The safe edges have safe edges. These are incredibly sharp. I didn't get the red-handled round ones. The way that you've got the cuts, they cut the teeth and they cut through the teeth, which allows for greater removal of waste material so they don't get clogged up, which is very important. And it also gives you a much smoother cut, apparently. Now, up to this point, I have just been regurgitating what I've read and what the other guy has told me about what he's used. He has these two, I think. It's a little flat on both sides, and then you've got the sort of baby half round there. But what I'm going to do, I'm currently building this quite awesome guitar. Solid copper top, copper leaf and all that. I've half carved my neck. And I'm at the point now where I would normally use, in fact, I still will use a Japanese saw file for the bulk of the flat work. Now, that is basically how I homogenize the shape and make sure everything's absolutely perfectly fine. But I've got a lot of curves and a lot of places where it's difficult. I've been using a Auriu. It's a French company, hand-stitched rasp, and I've had this rasp now for must be 14 years, maybe even longer, and it is a particularly beautiful tool. And I have several of them, and this is what I use. Now, these are hand-stitched, so it's random. The stitching is the putting of the teeth in, and it's something that I could do here even. Tempting. And it gives a very smooth finish, which is supposed to be what these do as well. So essentially, this is really across a video to see which I prefer. And the difference is these, an Auriu rasp is a significant investment. It will last you the rest of your life, but they are handmade, hand-stitched, hand-treated by a small group of people in France, and they are commensurately expensive. Reassuringly so, because they are stunning tools. Anyhow, for this, I am going to, first of all, use the flat one, and I don't have handles on them because I don't have any handles to spare. I must have handles somewhere. If we sell them, we're going to put our Crimson Guitars handle on them. I'm going to use the flat one and see what that's like in comparison to my Japanese Saw Rasp. And then we're going to use the half rounds to do the carving and see what I think. The end result, well, let's see what the end result is. I suspect I'm going to be blown away. But if they replace my Ryu in my affections, I will be surprised. I will be surprised. The whole point of all of these videos is complete and utter honesty. I don't sell Ryu rasps. I probably never will. But if it's the better tool, I will tell you it's the better tool. Anyway, let's get carving. So the first thing to do, I want to homogenize. I've angle ground this neck, basically, and it's not absolutely perfect. It's difficult to get complete perfection with an angle grinder. Now, I love Japanese saw files. I have 2 or 3 of them that I use all the time. Japanese Saw Rasps, sorry. They have the same thing. Because of this awesome pattern, it clears the waste. They stay sharp for forever and ever. And we do sell these, so I'm slightly biased. But then again, we only started selling them a year ago, and I've been promoting their use for the last decade. Now, the Japanese Saw Rasp is coarse on one side, fine on the other. So that is quite good. Whereas with the Iwasaki files, you have to have both. So the Japanese Saw Rasp, it clears it really, really, really quickly. They are roughly 20 pounds, I'd say, 22 pounds or so. I remember when they were 14. That's how long I've been using them. And very fast. Now the trick is to hold the neck up to the light, rotate it around, and if you can see a straight line, then you have a straight line. Don't use files without a handle. Really, you shouldn't. But well, let's see. I'm going to flip this around and go down to the other side. This is a different beast entirely. It wants to cut like a plane. This has got really, really sharp teeth. And it really is like I've got multiple little planes in my hand here. By gum. Okay. Okay. First of all, this is not going to replace... There's no way this is going to replace my Japanese saw file. Okay, for this initial shaping, you can't beat the Japanese saw file. Yeah, that's not going to happen. So, however, let me just get this sorted out quickly. Once I've roughed it through and got my shape right with the Japanese saw file, then I think the Iwasaki is going to come into its own. Not quite perfect, but close enough. Okay, so Iwasaki. This is... I'm struggling to find... Okay, it would be easier if it had a handle. That. There was little hyperbole in the writing. I use a word like hyperbole, and then I can't figure out what to say after that. The final finish on this is, I think, with a little bit more time, i.e. another 10 seconds, I could dispense with even 240 grit paper, go straight to 320 and have a final finish on this neck. This is mind-blowing. That shouldn't really be possible. It's not leaving scratches. It's... Seriously. Oh, I can see some scratches in the light there, a little bit, but still, 320 grit, and we'll be perfect. Just a little bit of paper. That's 240, and 240 has put more scratches in. Okay. Well, the first test is passed. That is really a very, very good finish. Essentially, the principle here is something I've been saying for years and years. You cannot beat an edged tool. If you have a hand plane, or if you have a leveling beam with sandpaper, a hand plane, when you know how to use it, will always give superior results unless you have a cantankerous cross-grained piece of wood, which sadly the prettiest woods always seem to be difficult. You know, I love my leveling beams, but I'm in love with my planes. My wife watches these. Okay, the same thing with the scraper. If you have 240, 320, 600 grit sandpaper, to get the same quality finish as you can get with a well-sharpened scraper, you have to go all the way up to 1200 grit, wet and dry paper, dry obviously. Whereas sharpen a scraper properly and carefully, and you can get a mirror finish. Same thing with planes actually, you can get a mirror finish. Now, the technology on these is essentially you have got several hundred, at least, probably several thousand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. We're probably talking 600 or so little micro plane blades, chemically sharpened and all cutting the same way. Anyway, I'm going to carry on doing now. Let's have a look at the curves, and this is where okay, you need a close-up. So here we go. Look at how awesome those teeth are. It's just pretty. It's just pretty. So I'm holding on the safe edge, which is nice. It's just, you know, obviously it depends on end grain and where you are. Now this is pretty much end grain. It's just eating through it. I need to stop talking and try and figure out what I actually want to do with this guitar. Now, this is the tiny little half round. I need to be careful there. I'm causing a bit of tear out on the bottom here, which I don't want. Do you know what? This little one's actually... These are really, really good. So, just while we're here, there's the two. There's a little square and a little half round. Frankly, these with the little red handles are fine. Of course, I've chosen a bit of wood to carve here that is cross-grained and difficult. It's acting like a scraper. I'm just playing now. Here's the medium size. Look at that. So it's making very fine dust. Oh, I need to clamp my vice down again. All right. Okay, well, basically, yeah, with a little practice, this is giving me I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm playing here. I'm just having fun. And then you have the little round ones, which I have no doubt cut just as well. Now, I really don't need to say anything else. These are I don't know. Comparing them with my Saw Rasp, well, the Saw, this is I think a fine grit, is leaving more scratches, but they are more homogeneous, if you know what I mean. I'm getting a better finish from the Iwasaki, at least on the flat there. Yeah. I could have chosen a much better wood. This is Meranti, I think, that I'm using. Maybe Sapili. Maybe Sapili. But anyway, it's not being particularly friendly to us. It's... well... okay, the Iwasaki files are giving a better finish. I still love my Saw Rasps. Saw. I can never say the name properly. Okay, we are definitely going to stock Iwasaki files at Crimson Guitars. They are phenomenal. What I just discovered there, though, is that we don't really need the entire range, not for guitar building at least. I think I've got the, what I would, I'm thinking on video. I shouldn't really do that. The tiny little ones are mind-blowing. Really, really, really useful. Come with a little handle already. I'm in two minds as to whether to stock the medium or the large. I think I might do either or possibly just go the whole hog, I don't know. Anyway, look, these have my seal of approval for what that is worth. Dagnammit, I'm too excited about tools and I can't talk anymore. I am really, 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 really happy with these. They need a good handle. You have to never ever use a file without a handle. It's naughty and dangerous, for one. Especially if you slip with something that's got basically 500 mini plain blades on it, you're gonna hurt yourself. So yeah, we'll be putting Crimson Guitar's lovely, sexy hexagonal handles, I think they're hexagonal, on them before we sell them. If you are interested in seeing everything else, just, well, check out crimsonguitars.com/store and see what else we have. Predominantly, we sell luthiers' tools that we make ourselves. However, for the odd tool that I'm really in love with, we buy it in from third-party vendors, like the Japanese saw file. It's one of my favorite tools of all time. And now, actually, the Iwasaki rasps. Files. It's sort of a half cross between a rasp and a file. It gets a file's results, but it looks and feels like a rasp. So, yeah, go figure. Those Japanese, they do know how to make tools, don't they? If you have these and love them, if you have these and hate them, if you found a limitation, please let me know in the comments below this video. Check out johnsontools.co.uk for various Japanese tools and many other cool bits of coolness. They're a supplier to the trade, like myself, but they've got various people who they've got a list of dealers, and they do some really awesome toys. I'm annoyed that it's taken me this long to actually set up an account with them, basically. Anyway, they are the UK distributors for Iwasaki files, so check those out if you're interested. If not, crimsonguitars.com, and we'll have a limited range of them in our store very soon because I'm in love, and so should you be too. Thanks for watching. Have an excellent day. Click like, subscribe, check out our other videos. Most of them are not me looking at tools or other bits and pieces. Most of them are me actually showing you how to do what I do, or answering your questions about guitar building, etc. But thanks for watching. Goodbye. I really talk for far too long. After I've said goodbye, I keep on talking for 2 minutes, don't I?